Hello, and oh my god, why are we still talking about this? The Arcch vs. Nick A30 drama part 3. Honestly, we have tied with the amount of Sonic movies made right now. Jeez, bro. Hopefully this doesn't get a fourth part like the Sonic movie. So we're going to be talking about Arch's new response to Nick A30's response, which I found quite professional by Nick. We're not going to react to it because it's 26 minutes long. But we're going to talk about the response. We're not going to really talk about the entire drama. Check out my other videos. Basically, Arcch donated to Nick, giving a challenge. Nick said if he had one just to tell him, he did. Kept donating. Nick promised to do it, but then really never did it. It was kind of confusing, honestly. Just think about this. That Arcch donated, Nick should just gave it, and all would have been over. Now, a lot of people are switching sides, including me. After every one of these guys make a new video, people switch sides over. So this will be including some of Nick's response and Arch's new response. I hope this silly stupid drama can come to an end. Now let's get to it. Now Arcch, in a lot of his responses to Nick, says he wants to clear his name. So it feels like that after everyone, even the Red Dead Redemption one, he's like, I want to clear my name. So it's a very repetitive thing that Arcch has been saying, to be honest. Now, a bit of context. Now, Arcch, in his video, he said that Nick was messing with the donations.
What a surprise. Nick A30 twisted this interaction and left out some major detail.
But then, you look back at it, Arcch also messed with his donations. Now, he did, in the first video, he did say he just couldn't remember it fully. But I do think he basically remembered it, or he could have just asked it back. He just Arcch, I do think he tried to make him just sound more nicer with his donations. So, Arcch, in his first video, he changed donations, kind of messes with them to sound nicer, and then when Nick shows the donations in his video, he leaves out two, which are the nice ones, and reads Arch's donations in a way that makes Arcch sound rude. But basically, in both their videos, they've both messed with the donations. So by Arcch saying Nick messing with the donations, Arcch has done the same in the first video as well. Now, you can kind of understand that maybe Nick was reading the donations like he was reading them in the response, because maybe he just thought that Arcch was being rude, even though Arcch was not intending to be rude. Arch's third donation that was shown in Nick A30's response, it was rude, passive-aggressive, I think, is what Arcch agreed with.
In the third donation, I will admit I did come off as a little bit agitated, but I think a lot of people would, after having to donate more and more just to get him to say something he said he would say.
Which is good from Arcch. He's taking the blame for something, which is very good. That's something that these guys need to do more often here. Hopefully not another video. Please not another video, Nick or Arcch. Now, Nick missed the donations from Arcch, and he said it was kind of confusing because he also said he answered them in full, but then he also said to give him a challenge, even though he did, and also he never answered them. But to be honest, Nick was streaming on multiple platforms, so may have missed one of them, even though he did acknowledge the donation. It's kind of confusing, but one of Arch's points was that the YouTube chat was going very slow, but to be honest, maybe he was looking at the Twitch or even TikTok chat, which may have been going faster, but I don't really know. But I'm just saying, there's a little bit of backup to Nick there, obviously streaming on so many platforms, even though if it's a small stream, still has multiple thousand people watching. So there were some rude donations, but there were also some kind donations from Arcch, which we saw. In Nick's response, he never mentioned the crash out in the Red Dead Redemption stream, which is a massive problem. In the one thing I find the problem with Nick A30's response, which is very professional, he should have taken the blame for things. I can see that in this Arcch response, he has taken blame for things, but like the title, stuff like that. But Nick A30 in his video should have taken the blame for the Red Dead Redemption stream and its massive crash out, and calling him Arcch rude names. Arcch does use the Red Dead Redemption Nick A30 crash out as a big point in this, which you can understand, but it always goes back to this point if he does, like he always brings back to this point about the Red Dead Redemption stream. Now, Nick did promise him a challenge and should have just did it, and this silly and stupid drama would have never happened, which is the most simplest line, but is so true. It was so simple to do, and this would have never happened. So that's the problem. Nick should have taken the blame in his response about this as well, saying he should have just answered it or just said no and refunded it straight away. But he did refund it now, which is good. I do think that as much as Arcch says he didn't do this for views, since the first video, which I don't believe he made for views, I believe that he did that to like tell people about it, that since the first video, all the other videos he has made were for views. Now obviously his recent one, his response to Nick30's response was monetized, but his others weren't, but I do think it was gonna try and help him get monetized so he could make money off it. Nick's response in the video was professional, but not in the Red Dead Redemption stream, which is true. Professional in the video, that he should have taken the blame for some things, but in the Red Dead stream, he should have just probably not said anything. Would have been better, or just like get an apology. As Arcch keeps donating, you see why Nick kind of got annoyed though. But Nick should have just said he won't do it before banning him and just refunded the donations, which he has done now, as mentioned. Arcch says that he wasn't looking for drama, but I do believe that he kind of was. He also said if he could go back, he would never post those videos.
I was not looking for drama. If I could go back and not upload those videos, I would.
Which I do not agree with, because I think think about this here. He says if he could go back, he would never post those. Then, if it's not about the views, not about the money, why don't you just delete them now? They're not monetized, and you don't care about the views, as you said. So why don't you just delete those videos now, and this could all be done for? Just say, sorry for this, thank you for refunding me, delete. But as Nick said in his response, that even if he refunded it, Arcch is not going to be deleting it. Nick should have mentioned, as I said so many times, Nick should have mentioned the Red Dead Redemption overreaction in the stream. But I do believe he was just annoyed and angry, just not having a good day. Imagine you're getting called by a scammer, you scam all your fans, trying to ruin your reputation. You can kind of understand why I got mad, but it's still no excuse for such a poor response by Nick in the stream. I just imagine all the hate he was getting though. Now, this is something very wholesome, very kind, very big respect for Arcch, because he said at the end of his response that all the fame he's been getting for this drama, he wants to do a charity stream to help with like cancer stuff, which is like really good.
Want to do some sort of charity stream. The stream will most likely be for cancer research, as I want to turn this into something good, and cancer is something that has affected my family and millions of other families around the world.
He said it's something that's affected his family, so he's going to do a charity stream for that, which is amazing. That's the perfect thing you want to do with fame, with something like this. Not the best way to get fame, but it's the best way to like use with all this fame to do a charity stream, which is great. So massive respect to Arcch for that. Now, I just hope that this big mess will be done for. I agree with Arch's points of view, Nick30's point of view. Like, they have both got decent points I can agree with. But, so, yeah, no hate to Arcch, he's great. No hate to Nick30, he's also amazing. Let's just hope that this is all finally done, and then me and so many other content creators don't have to make a fourth video on this, because I want to make actual videos. Because I had a video very similar to this format about bots in Twitch streams, paid bots, stuff like that. I was going to do one about this, but because this popped up, I just wanted to do this so that I could be finally done with it. But it's one thing that Arcch, just leave Nick30 alone, because he gave you a refund, and I think we can all agree, Nick, as we've seen in his response, clearly doesn't want to talk about the drama, doesn't want to do anything related to the drama anymore. So I don't expect a response by Nick. I think it'll all be done. So thank you for watching this video. I know it's a bit of a long one, but I do really appreciate if you made it, and have a good rest of your day, guys. Bye.